Oh, and happy 2021. While 2021 has just begun, I'm not done with 2020. It's rare that a year that, like cancel culture, forces us to bundle it up in its entirety and all of its worst parts and then ostracize it from our minds. But I don't want to do that because I want to live in 2020 forever, but just because I feel like it's just a little too easy. As easy as it would to be forget a year of protests, elections, pandemics, and sadness, or on a personal level, the lonely nights, ordering in when you're alone and you shouldn't, and the moments when you remember you're in a pandemic and your hopes dissipate and you're left with this endless feeling of waiting for someone else to fix a problem that makes you feel so small and pointless. Because if we just bundle it up as bad and move on and try to forget about it, then it wouldn't have meant anything. And I still have hope. Like John and Hank Green preach about radical hope, that even in the darkest times, is that there's a reason to hope. Hope to find meaning and truth. So I dedicate this video on one of the greatest lessons I've learned in 2020 to John and Hank Green. Coming into 2020, I had the hardest, most transformative year of my life in 2019. I changed schools, majors, life paths. I came home with my tail between my legs, trying to find myself again. But a couple of neck cracks by a chiropractor, some good conversations, a nice hit of community college, and getting swept into the lovely arms of the Yang Gang, I had hit my stride. I was going to go into political science and education and sign up for a triathlon. And the feeling of pride and that my life was back together again came back, and I didn't want to lose it. Spent the early part of 2020 grinding by myself. I thought that if I was purposeful with my life, that I could fill the holes inside of me. Yet I was empty. I became burnt out. I was running on fumes. I had no social life. I would just wake up, work out, go to school, go to work, exercise again, and go home. While there are definitely some great things to feeling good and productive, I was just stuck and confused that I could feel so lonely, yet doing what I apparently wanted. So when the pandemic hit and the gyms closed, the races were canceled, and my internship was ended, it was time to figure out what was going wrong. And I think I learned the lesson that a lot of people learned in 2020, the importance of connection and fun and the people activities we took for granted. And while in a lot of ways my life had gotten worse, I was happy and hopeful because I at least figured out the way that my life could get better. Friends and people. Fast forward to the semester, new school, new mentality. I was going to rock the semester and meet new people and enjoy as many new experiences as I could while being safe. But for some reason, I didn't. I didn't go out. I didn't meet new people. And every day for months, I would write some goal or task about, going out there and messaging some club. But I would instead distract myself with either the same productive things I was doing, like waking up early, exercising, or reading, or the same unproductive things, like just sitting alone, watching YouTube, ordering in. Oh, don't get me wrong, there were moments I had fun with friends, but I just still felt so trapped. Like I was in the place that I was supposed to be doing all these things, but I felt completely stuck, so I just came back home. It was here, about a month ago, that through John's Green books, that I began to find some answers. I learned that similar to the line in Imperial Fiction, the truth demands to be felt. It's easy enough to understand the truth, to repeat it, have it plastered on your phone background or wallpaper, but to feel it, live it, and manipulate it is something completely different. From their videos, I learned that you don't control the people that show up around you, but you do control how you treat them when they are part of your life. From Paper Towns, I began to think about how my expectations and different desires from my friends and how they were different, and that was okay. But how I was being selfish and I would try to guilt trip them and manipulate them into doing what I wanted, while not seeing the reason that they did the things I wanted sometimes wasn't because they wanted to, but because they were my friend, and that I wasn't always keen on returning the favor. I learned from Fallen Our Stars that while it's often justified and even fair to have that one thing you really want, either that thing that'll give you happiness or that thing that'll give your life meaning and permanence, that you don't always get it. That doesn't mean you don't get anything. And often that thing you want stop you from appreciating the people around you. My whole life, I always dreamed of having that one best friend, that person that would always say yes. For every little idea and crazy plan I conjured up, that they would be there to say, let's do it. They would help me push through ideas when I was stuck, and they helped me believe in myself when I lost faith. For my entire life, I searched for it. For my entire life, I resented everyone in my life who was not able to be that person. And it made me realize that if no one in the world could be that person for me, then I would just be that person for myself and kick everyone else out of my life. While I'll never have that dream-like best friend always saying yes to every one of my adventures, like how Fred is to George from Harry Potter, I do have those people. I have an amazing sister who is creating this fun and amazing video series with me. I have great friends who make me laugh, like to go on adventures, and will have my back in a pinch. I have other friends who sometimes will just do something with me if I ask, and friends I would do the same for. While I had these things all around me and new blessings entering my life all the time, it wasn't until 2020, the combination of a little darkness with some gold old-fashioned Green Brothers, that I could appreciate it. So thank you, Hank and John. Christina, I'll see you on Monday. Last thing, Christina missed her upload time last week, so already for our first video, Christina has to do a punishment. So I've chosen 3 kinds of punishments that she can do, and I'll link the videos that inspired these challenges below. So she either has to do some sort of Wim Hof ice and cold challenge, either going to some icy river or going outside in the cold and working on her breathing. Number 2, she has to embrace the silence. Turn off her phone, turn off the music, turn off the journal, just spend 2 hours in silence for a couple of days. 3, turn off your phone. Either turn off your phone or turn it into a dumb phone that you can't use until the night for a week, or maybe delete social media for a month. Christina, it's your choice.